as creatives, in order for us to be inspired, we have to be pouring into ourselves creatively in a way that makes us feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Keeping Up with the Calligraphers podcast. I am Kat of Kat Lauren Calligraphy.
I am Alex of Signs of Our Lives.
And we are here with our first guest, and we're so excited to have her. I will let her introduce herself.
Hi, guys. My name is Amanda of Amanda Reid Designs, and I'm so excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you.
So
Yay! I can't believe I'm the first guest. I feel so honored.
Oh my gosh. We feel honored to have you.
Oh my gosh. I have listened to every episode of y'all's podcast, so I definitely was super excited to join when you asked.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Okay. Before we jump into it, for those that may or may not be familiar, although I do feel like most people that listen to our podcast are familiar, when we announced on our Instagram that you were going to be coming on, or rather, we said we were having someone and they all guessed that it was you. We got so many DMs. Everybody was so excited to hear from you. But in case there is somebody out there, we do have kind of other artists that maybe aren't calligraphers that haven't come across you yet. I'll do a quick, brief version of your bio. Amanda Reid is a calligraphy artist, educator, and doctor of physical therapy. She is the owner of Amanda Reid Designs, a modern calligraphy studio based in Austin, Texas, that specializes in live event calligraphy and engraving services for corporate events and brands. Amanda blends her background as a physical therapist with her creative passions by sharing self-care and wellness tips for creatives through her YouTube channel, weekly newsletter, workshops, and retreats. Oh my gosh. And I'm so excited to learn more about you and all of those things and how just like all of that comes together. Should we be calling you doctor? Should we call you Dr. Amanda Reid?
Oh, you can if you want to. I feel like it depends on the setting. Like in the calligraphy space, I do not introduce myself as Dr. Reid. Even at the hospital, like my patients don't call me Dr. Reid because there's like medical doctors, and so it gets confused. Sure. But if I'm in the outpatient clinic, then sometimes my patients will call me Dr. Reid. But I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be ashamed of my degree. So if you want to call me Dr. Reid, you can call me Dr. Reid, but you don't have to.
Absolutely.
Girl, you put in all that work to get that degree. I will call you doctor all day long.
Yes, you earned it.
On that.
It was a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. And it was expensive.
Oh my gosh.
I feel that. Okay, but I would love to hear a little bit more about you, just from you. So tell us, like, how long have you been a physical therapist?
Yeah, so I've been a physical therapist since 2018. So it's been about 6 years now. I've been in the rehab space a little bit longer. I started off, or before I was a physical therapist and went to PT school, I got my master's in athletic training. And so I used to work with collegiate athletes at a university here in Texas. So I work with different sports like football, women's basketball, volleyball, track. So I just like health stuff. I like self-care, wellness, all the things. So yeah, that's my background. I did not ever think I was going to be doing anything related to calligraphy or being in the live event industry. So it's been a fun journey for sure.
Yeah. How did you stumble into that?
Yeah. So I learned calligraphy in 2015 when I was in PT school. Physical therapy is a very stressful program.
Yes.
And so I was looking for just something fun to do. And a friend of mine mentioned calligraphy, which I hadn't ever really heard of before. So I took a workshop. It was an in-person class and I fell in love with it. The first one was like a brush lettering workshop. And then I just kept taking all of her classes. So I did brush lettering, I did pointed pen, watercolor lettering, like anything that she offered, I just took it.
Wow.
And then I would practice all the time, like with my notes, rewriting my school notes. And so that's how I learned calligraphy. And then I
That's
didn't start my
awesome.
business until 2019. And that's a whole other story.
So yeah, wait, like we were already in PT school, fully like locked in on that as our career. We
Yes.
found this passion. Like, where at what point did we decide to go into business? Like,
Yeah.
how was that?
Yeah, did you just like casually decide like, oh, well, I'm getting my doctorate and I'm also doing this and this and this. So like I'm also just gonna add a business.
Girl, no. No. I remember telling myself I never ever want to be an entrepreneur. I do not want to have a business. It's too
Oh.
much work. Like I was very set on that. Like in PT school, some of my classmates were like, we're going to start our own clinic. I'm like, no, I'm going to work for somebody else because I don't have time to start anything new.
I feel that.
Yeah. But so I graduated in 2017 and I started working January, February 2018. My first job as a physical therapist was extremely stressful. It was a high volume clinic. I was seeing a lot of patients. I also was doing an orthopedic residency program. I
Oh, wow.
just got married to my husband, and it was a lot of transition, and
Wow.
it was affecting my physical and mental health to the point where I was having heart palpitations.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was having like these mini panic attacks on the way to work. So I quit that job in like 6 months because I was like, this is not why I got into this profession. And I didn't have time to do things that made me happy. So I left that job.
Wow.
And so I started working for another company part-time, or PRN in our industry, which is like as needed. So I still work for the same company. And now that I had all this free time, I started doing calligraphy again. And I would share my work online, and then people ask like, oh, can you make a sign for my house? Can you do something for my wedding? Oh, can you teach me how to do calligraphy? And I just kept saying yes. And then January of 2019 is when I was like, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to call it Amanda Reid Designs. And that's when I started.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, not awesome that we had that whole like burnout
It came,
experience,
yes.
but the
Yeah.
fact that your business came out of that, like the light at the end of the tunnel that you didn't even know was there. It was like the
Yeah.
unexpected thing that you never thought would be for you.
Never thought. Exactly. Yeah.
And here you are.
And here we are. Here
And
we
like
are, girl.
what a brave move to first of
Yeah.
all like acknowledge that you were like burning out and like 6 months in too to just be like this is not for me
Yeah.
and to like make a better decision for yourself. That
Yeah.
is so huge and I think that's like that fear is so strong for so many people and you just it seems like you just pushed right through that. You're like whatever. Like
Yeah. I
yeah.
probably toiled with the idea of quitting my first job for weeks, at least a month or so. Cause I just wasn't happy. I like the people I worked with, but the workload was too much.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's another reason why I'm so passionate about self-care and wellness because of how it affected me.
Mm.
And yeah.
That
Wow.
makes so much sense because I was going to say, like, how and when did you decide to put those things together? But it sounds like you were your own inspiration and you were like not wanting anybody to feel similar. Does that feel like that accurately
Yeah.
encompasses that?
Yeah. I feel like that it's always kind of been like in the back of my mind, like an underlying theme for me. Like we have to take care of ourselves. And then being in the healthcare industry anyways, I just
Yeah.
think that way.
Yeah.
But maybe I want to say last year, 2023 is when I really was like, I really want to share more information about how calligraphers can take care of themselves. Because we just don't know. Like some of my, close calligraphy friends would text me like, my back is hurting after an event. What should I do? Or my wrist is hurting. What should I do? My neck is hurting. And I would like, send them like text some little things to help. And I was like, nobody's really talking about this. People share posture tips or how your desk should be set up, but it's not from like the background that I have.
Yeah. Not from Dr. Amanda Reid.
Girls, I'm here to hand out all the tips and
Drop
tricks.
it.
Yeah,
Oh
if I
my
can be
God.
a resource, I'm happy to do that.
That's literally amazing. And honestly, I could have really used you today with a 5-hour event
Oh
earlier.
no. Oh girl.
That's really awesome. And so, okay, so you've combined kind of like so many things. You've combined both the physical health part of it, but also like the mental health part as well. For some of the people who don't know, could you share some of like the practices that you've been kind of doing to kind of like promote recognizing burnout as well as like that self-care sort of thing?
Yeah. So I think it's important first to define like what burnout really is. So burnout,
That's a good point.
a textbook definition of what burnout is it's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that's caused by excessive and prolonged stress. And so the key words are excessive and prolonged, and then also the fact that it affects your physical, mental, and emotional health. So it's really all of those components that make someone really feel burnt out. And signs or symptoms are just how it affects you. One, in the mind, it can lead to anxiety and depression. It could affect your relationships, just feelings of like negativity or like detachment from your work. And then there's also like the effects that it has on your body. You'll have like a lot of tension, especially like in your neck and your shoulders. You just feel really tight and tense. It affects your sleep. It can affect your immune system. And, you know, if you're burnt out, you tend to get sick more often, or like the cold or flu or whatever else. And then it just like raises your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. And it also affects your blood pressure, high blood pressure, all those things. It affects everything. Stress is not your friend
I'm just
at
nodding
all.
my head like really aggressively right now because I'm like, yes, 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 check, check, check. Not right now,
Yeah.
but like previously when I,
Yeah.
worked 50 hours a week, it was just like, yep, yep,
Yeah. It's
yep,
a lot.
yep.
And in our society, I feel like at this point, we've all experienced it at some point, and especially after the whole pandemic, there's like collective burnout from all the things that have been going on in our society, and then trying to manage your family and a business and social media and a day job if you have that, like I do. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I feel that.
balancing. I mean, I know for me, it's very difficult. Like, I am sometimes like a all in, all out type of person. So I will get
Yeah.
like laser focused on just work, or like, okay, I can't even focus on work at all because
Hmm.
I don't know, like I'm just too concerned with other things.
Yes.
So like you manage your like the creative aspects of calligraphy and the administrative aspects of running a business, and you're a PT, like plus, family, friend, all those other things that like, you have in your life. So like
Yeah.
what are some tips for like artists who are like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. There's so many tasks. Obviously I think we all have our own like personal things, right? But like what are some things maybe like in your business, or like some practices that you do for yourself, or like
Hmm.
who do you lean on, things like that, like
Yeah. That's a good question. I definitely relate to what you said about like being the type that's like all or nothing, because I am that.
mm,
I hit the ground running and I realized that I was going a little bit too fast. So I've actually paused a little bit. Right now, I'm doing a social media break. So no social
oh,
media, digital detox, no TV, no YouTube, no TikTok, nothing for 2 weeks.
oh my God, my face right now, I'm like,
2
no
weeks.
TikTok, oh my God.
I don't even have a
Because
TikTok.
yeah, I mean, I have a TikTok, but I'm not really on it that much. But I mean, just to like really clear my mind, because there is so much noise on social media, TV, like all the channels. And when you're focused on listening to what others are saying, seeing what others are doing, it takes you away from yourself, number one, and then whatever goals you have for your business. And so that's what I'm doing right now, just to kind of reset, recenter, and refocus myself. And it feels so good. Like I literally feel lighter just taking a break.
Yeah.
And then I think something that people don't think about when we're on social media all the time is it causes decision fatigue. When you're scrolling, watching videos, you are making a ton of micro decisions every second about what that video is discussing. How does it relate to me? Am I going to like it? What should I comment? Should I share it? What video am I going to post? What am I putting in my stories? Like those are a ton of different micro decisions that you're making throughout the day on top of all the major decisions we should be making. And so taking a break really frees up a lot of brain space and mental energy. So that's just one thing that you can do to help.
I feel like you just like blew my mind. Like I feel like that's something I've always felt, but I've never had words to like connect that feeling to.
Yeah.
But that's half the reason why I have like zero social media strategy, because I don't want to have to decide like for my own content.
Yeah.
And like I'm already doing that for everybody else. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That was already so validating for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How much should you charge Kat for this therapy session?
I know.
Therapy
Thank you so much. Breakthrough. Done. Check.
Done. You are fixed.
Yes. Yeah. I highly recommend that every business owner take a regular social media breaks, at least once a quarter, and for it to be at least 2 weeks. I know a lot of people have kind of FOMO or like, I'm going to lose engagement or whatever. People will be there. Your audience will be there. When you come back, you can do things to build your audience back up. It's not going anywhere, hopefully. But if you're afraid to commit to 2 weeks, at least, maybe once a week, just one day off, media, just to help your mind to, recharge and rethink. But that's one strategy that you can do to help.
Well, and I was gonna say, I think this is like such a helpful tip, because I literally have like 4 accounts on Instagram as well as like all the other types of things. So I'm just like,
me too.
So many. So good tip, good reminder, and I just realized like this is kind of the perfect time to be recording this episode, because I genuinely do feel like everyone like hit the ground running in January. And like,
Yes.
I know for me, I was like, I have actually no motivation, and seeing everyone being motivated, I'm like so confused right now. But I feel that, like, I feel everyone else's collective burnout, because I think a lot of people went into the new year doing the things and seeing what everyone's doing, and like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to update my website, and I'm going to update this and that, and all the things. So I think I'm actually really glad that this is coming out when it's coming out, because I think everyone's going to be like, yeah, same.
Yeah. We feel like we have to like really ramp up when the new year starts, but this is a good reminder that it's okay to slow down.
Literally. Yeah.
I feel like too, like the social media break is good for just us as creatives. I feel like I'm most creative when I have space away from everything, because otherwise I'm so wrapped up in like what everyone else is doing, and even like an idea I feel like I generated on my own, like always ends up looking like something else that someone else is doing, and then I'm like, no, this is stupid, and I have to like
comparison
scrap the idea. So I feel like a social media break is good too if you're feeling like you're in a creative rut, and that's like part of your burnout, just to like give yourself some space to have your own thoughts and your own ideas.
That's like a thing with writers, right? Like you go and like, if you're having writer's block, it's like, go do something, like go to the park, go walk your dog, go do something, go hang out with a friend, go to a coffee shop, like live life. Otherwise you just keep doing like the same monotonous thing, right? Like, so I don't know if I just like added one of your tips for you, but like do something.
No, that's great. Yes, that actually is one of my tips. But before we get to that, another reason that it's great to stay off your phones as calligraphers is because of the damage that it causes to our hands.
Oh, say more.
Yes.
What?
So I know that people who are listening cannot see us, but when you're holding your phone in your hand, what finger do you scroll with?
Your thumb.
Oh
Your
my gosh, now I
thumb.
have to literally get my phone. Oh yeah, my thumb.
Yes. So if you are constantly scrolling, typing, texting with your thumb, that is overuse of the muscles and tendons that lead into that finger. And so people have wrist pain on like the thumb side of their hand, or their hand feels fatigued or tired or sore. And if you're a calligrapher, you have one tool, which is our hands, to create the work that we create. And if we're overusing it by scrolling on our phones and putting it in awkward positions to take photos or watch things, that you're damaging your tools. Like if you were a mechanic, you wouldn't purposely abuse and overuse like the tools that you use for work. So, I mean, when we're on our phones, we do that.
I was waiting for you to drop a mechanic tool, and I was like, "What tools do they use?" I have no idea.
But I don't know. I don't know what mechanics use. I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. No, I feel like you just blew my mind again. Like, I feel like you see all these things like about like how to take care of your burrs, how you can like say, you know, whatever else, like how to take care of like your nibs if you're doing pointed pen, or how to like take care of your paintbrushes and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But no one talks about the literal tool
Yes.
that is like attached to your body that
Yes.
if that is injured, you can't do literally
Yes.
any of it.
Exactly. Without your hands, all the tools that we buy are nothing, because it requires the muscle memory, the skills, the strategies that we've practiced for years and years to implement that, or to, execute it using the tools.
Yeah.
And we have to take care of them. And if you're on the phone all the time, it can lead to overuse.
Girl, I'm not taking care of my tools, let me tell you.
Oh my
If you
gosh.
have to be on your phone, a strategy that can help though is, instead of scrolling with your thumb, you can use like your pointer finger.
Mhm.
Like, like what you say your parents are like
It's
finger
like your granny.
texting. Yeah, like you can do that instead. Or you can use a stylus, like a little stylus
Throw it
pins.
back to BlackBerry days? Are you
Yes,
kidding?
girl.
Stop.
Yeah. Yes. When
For
we
anyone
had
who's,
the
oh my gosh,
Yeah, use
yeah.
it. When we had the luxury calligraphy retreat, I put a stylus pin in everyone's welcome bag, because I was like, look, we're taking care of ourselves
Cute.
over here. So that's
That's
another
amazing.
that's another thing that you can do to help.
That's
Oh my
incredible.
gosh,
Thank you for blowing our
love
minds.
that.
No problem.
Okay, what's next? What other tips do you have? What else are you gonna blow our minds
Yes.
with?
So let's see what else. So we mentioned like self-care, doing things like creating work outside of work. So I started reading The Artist Way last year. If you haven't heard of it, it's an amazing book, and it helps to unlock creativity for yourself. But they talk about two strategies. One is morning pages, and that's like 3 pages of journaling every morning. And then the other one is going on weekly artist dates. And those are so life giving. It's just like finding an activity, something that like just refuels you. It could be as simple as like going to a park. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be taking a crochet class for my art date.
Ooh.
And it's for the purpose of just enjoyment and living life, not to monetize it or anything. You don't have to share it on social media, but it's just like taking yourself on a date because feel good. You can't always be putting out, that's how you get burnt out. You have to refuel yourself with things that make you feel good and make you happy. So I recommend going on an art date or just doing things for fun.
That's so
That's
cute.
awesome.
I love that. I actually did that recently. I went to a thing. It's like too far across the room. Well, maybe I could get it for you later. But I made like we went to like a Taylor Swift themed disco ball painting class.
Ooh,
And it
that's
was
fun.
literally so fun. I'd always wanted to do that, and I got to do it, and now I have one sitting in my studio, and I love disco balls, so yay!
Yay!
It was really fun. Okay, that is like literally so amazing. Okay, so for those people who are like, oh my god, Amanda, I don't have time. I don't have time to go on an artist date. I don't have time to go for a walk with my dog. Like Kat's raising her hand right
Guilty.
now. I'm so curious, like, what is your response to that?
You have time. You have to make the time.
I
And
do.
that's part of prioritizing yourself. If you feel like you don't have time, it's because you are not prioritizing yourself. And I think that's the mindset shift that has to be made. There's only one you in this universe, and you are your biggest advocate. And if you are making time for everyone and everything else, like, what does that say about yourself? You know, not to make anyone feel guilty, but it's just a mindset shift that if I want to be here for a long time, if I want to enjoy my business and be my best self for my family, my friends, my business, I have to, you know, like, it's like when you're in the airplane and they say put your own mask on first. That's what you have to do for yourself. So if you're an artist, like, you have to refuel yourself in some way. And you don't have to spend a bunch of money and like go out and, you know, spend, you know, a ton
Paint
of
disco
money.
balls.
Yeah, you don't have to paint disco balls or take a crochet class, but it could be something as small as, like, on the way home from work, you pick up a little bubbly or a little charcuterie board or some snacks. You tell your little charcut. You tell your family or your loved ones, okay, guys, I have 1 hour is mommy time. 1 hour is Amanda time. And I don't want to be disturbed. And you just go watch your favorite Netflix show for that hour, or a movie like by yourself, or just paint or create, put some music on and practice your calligraphy. Just something small. It could be like little micro dates. It doesn't have to be a big planned out thing, but just something that you look forward to on a regular basis, weekly, daily, that gives yourself some joy.
I gotta be better about that.
Okay,
It's hard.
I do want to share. So, like, when you said artist dates, I literally thought you meant like meet up with another artist and go on like a date, like not like
Ooh.
a romantic
but
date.
that's
I mean, it could be if you
too.
wanna, but but I was like, oh my god, no, I literally love that, because there are certain friends that like I like hang out with when I'm feeling like I need that
Yeah.
that like creative juice, and like I
Yes.
need someone to like resonate with me. And
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes only like artists, and especially like artists who are also business owners, like
Understand. Yeah.
like can resonate with what you're going through. And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community is everything. I know we're going to talk about that soon, but yeah, you can do a real artist meetup date. That works too.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I did a couple recently where I like went to an artist meetup in San Diego, and like they really are like, it's like, oh, like we're all in this. Like we're all doing this. We're
Yes.
all feeling like we want community. We're all feeling like we're fighting algorithms. We're all feeling
Mm-hmm.
like, where the heck are the clients, and why do I have to work on what the hell is SEO, and why do I have to work on it, you know?
Oh,
So
the worst.
the
Yeah.
worst. um so yeah, and I mean, like, I mean, I feel like you definitely like have cultivated that though. Like I feel like you have even provided that for a lot of the calligraphy community, and I'm sure like other artists who are maybe not even calligraphers. It's just like through some of the things you've done, like through creating calligraphers of color and providing that space, through like the luxury retreat that we've been like kind of mentioning here and there, through like your oh my
The
gosh, what do we call it?
calligraphy
Calligraphy
room.
room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the calligraphy room. So like tell people about that.
No, I started the calligraphy room in 2020, when, you know, everything was going down.
We
And
were
it
all
was,
Yeah.
you
home.
know, exactly what we needed. We were all at home, and it was just a way for me. I feel like most of the things that I have created were from selfish desire. Like, calligraphers of color, because I couldn't find other calligraphers that look like me, like diversity wise. The calligraphy room was, I just wanted to practice calligraphy with other people and it like be a little vibe. And then even the retreat, I just wanted to meet people in real life. So so yeah, the calligraphy room it's virtual. I've only done one in person, and that's at the luxury calligraphy retreat. But the virtual calligraphy room is, we get online and we practice calligraphy together for 2 hours. There is
Wow.
relaxing music playing, and I kind of walk everyone through like a guided calligraphy practice. So we do our basic strokes, the lowercase alphabet, the uppercase alphabet, we do like these letter drills, and then we do like a self-care quote together at the end, and we share like some reflection. And then before the meetup, I email everyone like it's like a little workbook that kind of walks you through it, and it has like a little charcuterie recipe in there, or just like how to
like a
set the
whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe. Like we need more stuff for us to like refuel us.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm here for the vibes. I'm here for the experience. So
we love that. Something that you mentioned, you said it came out of selfishness, or not selfishness. What did you say?
Like
you
a
said
selfish desire. Yeah, I wanted it for myself. Yeah.
But in reality, what I interpret it as like you seeking connection, like you seeking these things and then making that happen. I think so many of us are just like in these silos, right, by ourselves.
Yes.
Like we're all so lonely, and it's like, okay, like we gotta do something about that. And I think, I mentioned this before in a previous episode that like loneliness is literally killing us.
It is.
Like inside and out. And so the fact that you're like, you took it upon yourself to just like do something about that is amazing. And you did it for not just you did it for a bunch of people as well, so they now have like a place
to go.
To go and that space. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. I knew that if I was feeling it, I wasn't the only one. So we all out here struggling, trying to get through life. So let's just do it together. Why not?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love it.
I would love to hear more about the luxury calligraphers retreat. You already had one. Like, how was that? How did that go? And then I know you have one coming up. So anything that you want to share about that, tell us. I want to hear all of the things. It looks
all the details.
Phenomenal.
What's the scoop?
Yes.
I feel like, so last year's retreat was amazing. Like, we cried multiple times. We laughed so many times. Like it was so life-giving. I can't even put into words. So last year's retreat was in October of 2023, and it was held in Austin, Texas. And we rented this big house that we all stayed in. So that we can really get to know each other. Because I've been to conferences before where there's a lot of people. And if you're an introvert, I'm naturally introverted. As many community events as I put on, like I'm an introvert. I like to be alone, but I like to be around people too. Yeah. So I need like structured like activities. And I feel like sometimes if I go to a big conference or event, it can be easy to feel alone in a big space. So when you're all together in a small, intimate group, you're kind of forced to like make some friends and be close. But pretty much what we did was we all stayed in the same house. It was like a big sleepover. We had Sil from Via Calligraphy and Jody from Someday Art Co. But I think she's changing her business name soon. She's like rebranding. I can't wait to see it. By the time we
release this, I'm sure she's going to be a different name. But it's a different name. We'll link her in the show notes.
Yeah, Jody Tellier, that's her name. I hope I said her last name right. But those were our guest speakers. So I spoke about how to prevent burnout and strategies, pretty much what we're talking about today, and strategies to overcome that and just be like your best calligraphy self. And then Sil, her background is in digital marketing. That's what she does for her day job. And so she brought the heat with like marketing strategies and branding. And she's actually going to be back this year, and she's going to be sharing more marketing, business, just helping us elevate as calligraphy business owners, because we're all trying to figure it out. And then Jody taught a wonderful workshop on bottle painting, which I had never done before. I see a lot of people do it, but it's not something I offer. So it was really cool to learn that from her, because she is so talented.
Talented. Oh
very talented. Yeah. Other things that we did was we had massage therapists come and gave everyone massages. We did
the luxury.
The luxury is
it was there.
Listen, we are not playing games, okay? It is an experience. We had massages.
Luxury.
Yeah, we were taking care of our bodies with massages. We had a professional photographer come and had like a little photo shoot, headshots for everyone. We went out into town and we ate at some amazing restaurants. We had some good Texas barbecue and Mexican food. We played games. We just did so many things. We had a welcome dinner with like a private chef that catered for us and cooked for us. And
Oh,
we're going to be doing all that again this year. This year's retreat is in May. It's May 27th through the 30th, 2024. And tickets are on sale now through the end of February. So if you're interested, I would love for y'all to come. There's a few spots left. So yeah.
that's awesome. Is the retreat for anybody that's in calligraphy, or is it kind of tailored? I feel like that kind of an experience might be tailored for a specific audience. Is
Yeah.
there
Yeah, good
anything that you want to
question.
share about that?
Yeah, so it's not for beginners right now. It is for people who are mostly in the luxury live event industry, just because I feel like it's a new niche and it's so nuanced. And the techniques and information that we are talking about is advanced. So it is for people who already have an established business. This year, Carla Hagen will be joining us, and she is like a living engraving legend. She is like the
She
queen.
is.
And she's
Love
going to
her
be teaching
so
us. Me too. And she's so sweet, y'all. She's
So sweet.
amazing.
I was literally just messaging her like right before this. I
Oh
totally
my
forgot
gosh.
she's gonna be there.
Yeah,
That's so exciting.
I'm so excited to learn from her. She's going to be teaching some like advanced engraving techniques. So if you know how to engrave already and you want to elevate that, she's like teaching like how to do shading, how to put logos on your, I don't even know all she's going to teach.
I need
I'm
to be
excited.
learning that.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so it's for again like people
Experienced.
that are already maybe in the luxury space, maybe they've booked a couple and they're kind of ready to
Yes.
like level up.
Yeah,
Does that sound accurate? Okay.
that's correct.
That makes
Yes.
sense to me. Okay.
Sounds
Yeah, so I
amazing.
mean, it's a whole ass vibe. I feel like I can't make it this year, but catch me there at some point in the
Yeah.
future because I love a bougie bitch vibe.
Girl, me too.
Like
Okay, well, we are very excited to see who goes this year and to see everything that happens on the gram. Hopefully, you won't be taking a social media break during this time. Hopefully, you'll be posting. So, okay, we also have some more questions for you. So, since you have like this kind of like wellness vibe to your brand, I'm curious, like, do you feel like you've had clients who see what you're doing, see that you're a PT, see that you're talking about burnout, and are like, oh my God, must have you, must book you?
I feel like when it comes to booking events, no. They don't care that I'm a PT. They do not care.
Like,
They do
we're
not
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 gonna
care.
yet.
book, actually.
Not yet.
Well,
Someone
actually,
will, not yet.
I take that back. I've had a few people reach out who want to do a collaboration for like a conference. I did a conference was it last year? It was like a mom's self-care day, and they wanted me to come teach a like brush lettering class to like as a workshop for the moms. And they were like, we know that you do self-care and wellness and we just love that approach, so would you come teach our moms how to do that? So I will say I've done that. For live events, I haven't really had people, specifically book me because I'm, into wellness. Because I don't know, I feel like people are looking for entertainment for, their events. So it's a little different. Things that I've booked for, because of my background in self-care and wellness were like speaking gigs or like this podcast, we're talking about wellness. I was on a podcast recently and we talked about self-care for creatives, and I've done some stuff. The Happy Ever Crafter, Becca, she has a workshop week every year, or she's been doing it for the past couple of
Yes.
years.
I think I've attended every year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Same.
It's a fun thing. So this year I'll be joining to talk about some wellness, mindfulness type thing. And last year when I did a workshop, I hosted the calligraphy room the last time I joined workshop week. And I had like a little segment where I did like some stretching for, creatives prior to starting the calligraphy room. So it's just stuff like that. Like
Nice.
speaking type
Okay,
things.
you're saying just, but I feel like you just listed off like
Yeah.
5 million things. You're like, so it's just these like 20 things that I've gotten booked for. It's fine.
Just these like very
Just, like,
casual things.
Just these casual speaking engagements and workshops.
I need to give myself more credit, I guess.
You do. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in that same vein, you said that, live events, maybe your clients aren't necessarily like, oh, we want like someone who's into wellness to like be entertainment at this wellness event or whatever. Do you feel like your clients, well, I guess, are you more inclined to communicate your boundaries with your clients because of that, like having that lens? And also, do you feel like your clients like know and respect those?
I will say I have a couple clients who will text me. I don't like being texted for events, like to book me for stuff. And I also don't like DMs. I prefer stuff to
We're
go
all
through.
Shaking our heads right now.
Because for me, like my personal cell phone is for my friends and family and people who know me intimately. It's not for work. And then DMs, things get lost in the DMs. And so when people reach out to me via DM asking if I'm available, I immediately will send them a link to my contact page, or I ask them to email me at hello@amandareiddesigns.com, just so that we have like a paper trail of what's going on. I don't like completely shut them out. I'm not rude about it. Like, excuse me, you have crossed a boundary. You just redirect them so that they know the best way to communicate with you. So for example, I had one client who has texted me several times, and I don't always get back to her immediately because that's not like my primary form of communication for events. So I didn't say anything about it because I was like, maybe this is just how they operate like in retail. But I sent her, or I texted her because she would ask me if I was available on a date, and I didn't respond because I was busy working at the hospital or something. And then if I don't respond, then she'll like come back and put like the little question emoji or something like, hello.
No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I sent her a response back saying, my apologies for the delayed response. I don't normally communicate with clients through texting. Email is the best way to communicate with me. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't have your email address. So I was like, how did you get my phone number? So I sent her my email, and she immediately sent me an email saying, hey, just wanted to follow up here. And so we'll be communicating through email from here on out, hopefully.
I think that's an important lesson for a lot of us, though, to like gently but kindly like communicate our boundaries, right? Because like people don't just like automatically know like not to text us or not to call us in the middle of the night or whatever weird things they might be doing. And so I think that's totally reasonable, and like it sounds like you did in such a professional way. And for all the girlies out there, I know this meme has gone around a lot, but instead of saying sorry for the delay, just like, thank you for your patience. Just because I'm on a mission to make every woman stop apologizing so much.
Stop apologizing. Yes. You're so right.
This is the hill I'll die on. But no, that's like such a perfect way to like redirect the client and to just be like, hey, like, thank you for your patience. I was literally working. And the fact that you even explained yourself is so kind, because sometimes it's like, no, like I was driving, I was taking care of a child, I was, doing something, right? Like eating dinner with your family. There's so many reasons why you might not be answering, but I think that's such a kind, nice way to redirect and to communicate with your client professionally. Okay, one last burning question. If you could change one thing about our industry, what would it be?
One thing that I would change about our industry, and we kind of talked about this before we started recording, but I feel like the calligraphy industry is behind compared
Ooh,
to other event
industry
vendors,
professional.
other industries, professionals.
Creative, like
Yes,
businesses. Yeah.
yeah. Because I feel like when people think of calligraphers, they immediately think of weddings. But like this new little pathway we've carved ourselves to do like live events, entertainment, activations, working with brands is new. And so we're all like, figuring out. And obviously, there's people who have done it longer than others and know what they're doing. But for most of us, it's pretty new. I wish that we and clients understood that calligraphy is a luxury service. It's a luxury service. To have a calligrapher either customize invitations, note cards, live on site, literally creating individual pieces of unique, skilled art, like that's luxury. To have someone hand
Yeah.
write, hand letter, hand calligraphy, like your name, like that's art and it's luxury. And so I think when people, especially it's tough when you're starting out, it's like, oh, I'll charge 50 cents per, place card or $1 per
Yeah.
place card. Girl, elevate that price. Cause it's
Quick.
a quick, because it's not just writing a name. Like you've practiced these skills for years. So it's like an accumulation of your knowledge and skills. You have to get the paper goods. You're going back and forth with the client. You are packaging them up professionally and delivering them in some manner through mail or in person. So it's a lot that you're doing. It's not just,
It's a white glove service,
it's
even
a
if we're
white,
forgetting to remind people that that is what we're
yes.
doing.
Yes, that's what we're doing. Yeah, it's one of a kind piece of art for each individual person that you engrave a bottle for or whatever you're doing. It's a skill that most people in the world do not have, and yeah, we need to be charging a premium price for it.
Premium price for premium service, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love it. Cheers to
Mic
that.
drop.
Mic drop.
Literally.
And on that note, we absolutely loved having you.
I
We're
love
definitely
this too.
we are definitely doing another episode because we have more to talk about.
Ooh, yes we do.
Yes, we do. So tell us before we wrap up, where can listeners learn more about you? Instagram,
Yeah.
website, newsletter.
Yeah. So a couple ways to connect. When I get back on Instagram, that's where I am the most. So my Instagram is Amanda Reid Designs, and Reid is spelled Reid. Another way that I'm sharing more like self-care wellness content is through two other channels. My weekly newsletter. I've taken a break from that because I've just taken a break from everything right now. But by the time you hear this episode, it will be back. But I do Wellness Wednesdays where I share self-care and wellness for calligraphers and creatives. And then I also will share any updates, events, things like that. And then I have a YouTube channel now.
So exciting. Okay,
Yay.
wait, tell us about your YouTube channel.
So the YouTube channel, I only have a few videos because I just started last month. But I just wanted to have a little bit more long form content and just share more behind the scenes of being in the live event industry, and then sharing more tips and education on how to take care of ourselves as creatives. So all the stuff we talked about today, I'm wanting to share more content on that platform regarding being our best selves.
I
Yes,
love that. Everyone
awesome.
go subscribe. I need to go do that. And that's the same thing, Amanda Reid Designs
Yes,
on YouTube.
Amanda Reid Designs everywhere. Yep.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And then what about the luxury calligraphy retreat? I know you mentioned that I think applications are through the end of February. So where can
Yes.
people find information about that? Where can they apply? Any other applicable information you want the people to know?
Yeah, so if you are interested in joining us this year, we've got a few spots left. Please join us. We would love to have you. But you can find more information on it at www.amandareeddesigns.com. And then you'll see a tab at the top that says retreat, and it has all the information there, including the link for the registration application. The application is just to make sure, the people that are attending are there for good intentions and they're established business owners. So it's really quick to do, and that's how you can join us. Or if you're on Instagram, you can just click the link in my bio and all this stuff is there too.
Perfect.
And if you got this far, then I think we have a special promo code. Do you want to share that right now, or would you like us to just...
Okay, so, and just being generous, because I'm so grateful for Alex and Kat for inviting me to their show. I'm providing an exclusive discount to their listeners for a little bonus off of the cost of the retreat. So when you are checking out, just type in the code podcast 2024, and that gives you $500 off the cost of the retreat. Yes,
that is my jaw hit the floor when I saw that come through in the email. I was like, what? Like,
yes,
the most generous offer for like the most luxurious retreat you're gonna come across. So yeah,
that's how bad I want y'all to come. That's how bad I want y'all to come. If you're listening, you have an exclusive discount, so please use it.
Yes.
We love that so much. Okay, so thank you so much for being on our podcast. We absolutely loved having you. We're gonna have you again. Everyone follow, like, subscribe to all the things Amanda. And then if you want to continue following along with us on Instagram, it's at Keeping Up with the Calligs. And that's where we basically shout out new things. We share new episodes. We have polls. We ask for your feedback. And we love DMing you. We'll give you advice in there, all the things. So follow along there as well.
Yep. And if you, for any reason, aren't already following us, you can find us on our individual pages. So again, I am Kat at Kat Lauren Calligraphy. That is Kat with a C. And Alex is...
Why I had a brain fart there. I'm like, who am I? I don't know. Signs of Our Lives on Instagram. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Amanda.
Thank y'all for having me so much. This was so much fun. I can't wait to come back.
So much fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.